We are going live. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, we are officially live. Yay! All right, I'll just check that we are live over here. And let's see. Are we live?
I can see us.
Oh, really? It's happened? It hasn't gone live for me yet, so okay. Am I looking at the right place? How come mine hasn't gone live? Yeah, aloha. Oh, okay. Other people say we're live, so that's good. That's good. Is it just me? That is
Maybe.
so, yeah, how weird that I can't see them. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's just me. Are we hearing that on the playback? Sorry. Okay, anyway, I am just going to trust that we are live. And aloha, everyone. Welcome to day 20. This is our 100 days check-in. And we have a special guest joining us today. We have Dory Davis. You guys know her from the Facebook group. Are you posting on Instagram this year, Dory? No? Okay.
No,
Have you
I'm
ever?
not brave enough this year. No, one day.
Okay. That's all good. That's all good. Whatever works. So we'll be doing this check-in. For some reason, my check-in is not staying live, but I will see if I can make it stay live. All right. So good. Give us your feedback on how our sound and video is going. But yeah, congratulations, everybody. It's super exciting. This year has I feel like it's been every year it grows, right? The whole project and I think every year my take on it, each of our journeys on it is different, right, from year to year. So I wanted to just check in with everyone and see how are we feeling day 20. So let us know in the chat. And in this check in, these are some of the questions I wanted to pose. What are you discovering along the way in this first 20 days? And then as we continue on with this journey, how do we stay motivated and how do we maybe adjust the project to fit your life better? That it can get hard, and we'll talk about that too. There's going to be ups and downs along the way for the 100 days. So how do we negotiate that? And then we'll talk about some other kind of housekeeping or like questions that have come up in it during the project, like like how come I'm not getting any comments, or how come some people are getting so many more comments than other people. And the answer to that is always that this is about you and your project, not necessarily about the comments. But we'll talk about the comments and the fact that social media platforms just work a certain way. But let's bring it back to the original question: is how are we feeling at day 20? How have the first 20 days felt? So why don't I turn it over to Dory first? And Dory, this is your third year doing the project, right?
This is my third year doing the project. To be honest, it's hard to believe we're already on day 20. I feel like this time around is going quicker for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm excited. We're a fifth of the way through. Um, I I've come at the project a little bit differently this year than I have in the past. I think a lot of it has to do with the state of the world. The first year that I participated in 2020, it was right at the start of COVID. I had just picked up an ukulele and I was sitting at home for like 8 hours a day with nobody to hang out with. So I would just play all day. And I had time to do that. And when I was a beginner, it really benefited me to do that because I was learning to do all of the basics, strumming, singing at the same time as strumming. Um, and so that was great. And last year was, a lot the same. There's been different waves of this virus. So I feel like the time that it hit last year, I was home a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
This year, you know, things seem to be getting to some sort of normal. So I think a lot of us are, doing, things
Yeah,
out in the world and getting busier. We're
yeah,
not just sitting home playing ukulele. So I've put less pressure on myself this year, to, I know I'm not sitting at home playing for 5 hours a day every single day, and that's okay. Um, but I'm finding, the silver linings in, maybe not having as much time to practice, like going back to songs I did in previous years. And like I just did Imagine. I love that everybody has, or so many people have posted Imagine recently.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wonder what my video from day 3, year 1 looks like. And surprise, surprise, it was like I was a beginner, and it's so nice to have those videos. But I was really glad to redo that this year, and I would like to redo a number of my older videos.
Yeah.
Um, but it's been great so far. I've been enjoying it, and it's hard to believe we're already at day 20.
It went fast. I mean, the beginning is exciting because I think everybody um, is just, you have that energy of diving into the project. And now it's when it kind of gets hard in terms of like, okay, let's keep that energy going. Um, cool. Let's look at some of the comments in the chat and feel free to read some out, Dory, when you see them. But I'm seeing Kirk's right here. Um, Wait, where did that go? I'm losing my fear of sharing things even when they aren't perfect. And that is a common theme that I'm hearing from folks that and one of the reasons why we do the 100-day project, why anyone should do any 100-day project, is that when we are scared of really vulnerability, right? Of putting out, expressing ourselves and making ourselves maybe available to other people's reactions and criticism, that we might hold back. But when you do it day after day and you see that it's not as scary as you thought, then it emboldens you. It gives you the confidence to keep going, keep trying new things. And that's why we cultivate this group as well. It's a really nurturing space, because out in the real world, just so everyone knows, our little group is not really the real world. We are definitely trying to cultivate a place where everybody can feel encouraged to get over that hump of of criticizing yourself, right? Judging yourself in the beginning. And after a while, yeah, when you can let go of that, it really, really makes a difference. But even for, Kirk, is this your third year, I think? Second or third year? I've heard from other folks who in their, fourth and fifth year are getting to the point where they can let go and just put out a video and not worry as much about it, not try to perfect it. I am really stoked about this whole hashtag, the One Take Wednesday, that's like really taken off. I think what Christina was saying, that like Seth, yeah, that Seth
Yeah.
just messaged some people and said, let's start doing this One Take Wednesday. And it's like caught on like wildfire, because everyone's like, yes, I need an excuse to only do one take.
Yeah, it
So,
almost feels like you need permission, or at least I felt like, oh, maybe I need permission to, give myself permission to do a one take. Um, it's funny, I just saw Tina's comment that you had said once upon a time, you're not going to die. And Jenny had said, just get over yourself. You can post something imperfect. I also really appreciate that Seth has brought up this whole One Take Wednesday. And I know Christina does almost every single video, I believe, is one take. And I feel like Jenny said it a while ago that she is a recovering perfectionist, and I am exactly that. So, the days that I can get a video that's maybe not perfect and it's one take and I feel okay putting it out there,
uh-huh.
I do put it out there, which those days don't come very easily for me, but I'm working on getting the one takes down and just letting it go. And you can always, you know, let it out into the universe and then work on the following day's song.
Right. Yeah, and the beauty of it is that like this is not meant to be perfect, that
Mm-mm.
like it's a journey. It is I mean, this particular journey is 100 days, that you can't expect that, yeah, 20 days into it, even 100 days into it, that you're going to do anything perfectly. Because if you're waiting for perfect, then you're going to wait forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there really is no such thing as perfect. Hopefully, maybe that's the takeaway. And some of you might know I have a song called Perfect. I wrote a song called Perfect. Of just, I too maybe am a recovering perfectionist, except when I'm being creative. You know, when I'm being creative, I give myself a lot of license, and maybe that's why I've chosen this as my life's work. You know, but I like that, the terminology of that. If you are a recovering perfectionist, then it's a way to get over it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. A lot of people responding about, One Take Wednesday. Yeah, super fun. Um, yeah, Terry said, I practiced my song twice and then hit record. It will be what it will be. Oh, that's a nice approach too. Yeah, some people like will do 3 takes and then use the best take. Some people, yeah, Amanda said 10 take Tuesday. Even for me, I've posted it before where you see like in your feed. Here, I'll show you. And I'm sure you all know what that's like. But when your feed is like full of takes, right? Is it gonna adjust here? Yeah, when your feed is just like, oh, so let me start over. Oh, and that'll happen if you are learning a new song, right? That if you're gonna take your time learning a new song, but it is liberating to have that One Take Wednesday. Yeah, Christina is doing it pretty much every day, just on her lunch break, like the first 5 minutes of her lunch break. She's sitting down in her scrubs at the hospital just playing. So, and that's something else we can touch upon in terms of like how we adjust the project to fit into your lifestyle as we keep going, along this journey. Joanne said, I have to retake when I start swearing. I remember, yeah, there was a video in our patron group where, like, at the end, someone gets through the whole song, and then at the very end, they're like, oh, they have to, they forgot to trim out the cuss word before posting the video, but it's hilarious. So, cool. I'm gonna read some more comments. That were there any I don't know. Still trying to read and just catch up with everybody. This is so great. So shout out to all of the mods. We have such a great team of moderators and group experts who've been making sure that as many people as possible get their videos watched and get encouraging comments, and make sure that that there are some times that people misinterpret comments, and then the mods help to kind of negotiate and make sure that everybody understands that this is a place of encouragement, and that if you read a comment and you interpret it in a negative way, try to step back and see if you can interpret it in a more generous way. Like, sometimes the internet is not a great medium for really expressing what we mean. If someone says something that they intend to be a joke, right, or intend to be flattering, but it sounds like it sounds like they're I don't know, dissing themselves or something like that. There's different ways that comments can be interpreted, so it's important to kind of approach it with generosity, right? That we are all trying to support each other. And we're going to talk more about comments, because it seems to be a topic where people get a little worried if they don't get comments, and there's a lot of people participating in the project, so it's going to be hard for everybody to see every video, but it is really great to see everybody interacting via the comments. How many people are in the group now? I think
Over 1,000.
yeah, and I think we're seeing something like 400 video posts a day, and that is a lot. So big shout out to the mods and the group experts for really making sure that things are happening on that end. Um, Sono Fred says it's been a fun and somewhat stressful, stressful experience, but in a good way. I feel that way. I feel like it's. I'm excited to do it, and also like, oh, I have to do it. But in a way, that's how you get things done, right? That we are building this creative habit, and it is about exercising that muscle, a creative muscle. Leslie said, I can't believe I made it this far. Ken said, I've done almost all the videos in 1 or 2 takes. Wow, that's really great. Teresa said, I discovered that I really cannot sing. Take it slow, take it slow. You might just like slowly sing one phrase or one song and come back to it over the next 80 days and see if you can get a little bit further with it. Yeah. Greg said, I discovered I have a very limited wardrobe and look grumpy when I play. That's okay. That's something, if you want to develop. Well, the wardrobe thing, some of you might know that I wore like a black tank top like in every single video. And why did I do that? So I wouldn't have to think about it. Also, I have a lot of black, I had like, 10 black tank tops or something. So like every day I just make it easy on myself and I'm not thinking about the wardrobe part of it. But in terms of what you want to look like on camera, if you want to look more comfortable playing, you actually have to practice that. So you could practice either on the video or you could practice in front of your mirror, but just like look at yourself and be like, oh, like when I'm thinking really hard, my face is like, so can I relax? Can I breathe and play? Yeah. So the first 20 days for me has been really, really fun. I've been trying some different formats for sharing. Like those of you who follow me on Instagram, that I've been trying like Reels, which is the vertical format, the more like TikTok format, and trying to figure out how I can share maybe little riffs and lessons in 60 seconds, and that's been really fun for me. I've also tried vlogging, creating a vlog of my performance with Craig and Sarah, and I'm always just experimenting with new formats because I like to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a really fun way to change it up because it doesn't just have to be your playing that changes it up from year to year. Like I know I've enjoyed your reels and I've seen Tina do similar stuff where she's doing reels and other kinds of things. And Amanda has been doing a lot of group filming, which has been great. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she didn't get a lot of group filming and none of us did the first 2 years. So it's a nice change of pace to sort of change that up as well.
Yeah. Um, I have to keep reminding myself to smile and not look so serious. Yeah. Yeah, Tina's doing the reels and the shorts. Oh, okay. Are you posting those shorts? Oh, that's good. Um, cool. Tim said, my project scope is pretty good and better thought out than in previous years. That's interesting. Yeah, Tim, tell us more about that. I know, like Jenny, for instance, planned out a lot of her project. Like the first 10 days she would do, or last year she did, the first 10 days she would focus on this, the next 10 days she would focus on the next, like, from finger picking to baritone to, changing up the focus. I think Jenny said this year she's more focused on originals and she's already doing amazing at that. She's been really digging into the originals. My project scope this year, I wasn't sure what it was going to be, but playing around with these different formats has been really fun for me, mostly because I feel like if I'm gonna spend a lot of time to record a formal video, I'd work too hard. I would think too much about like wanting to get the recording right and using my fancy camera and all that kind of stuff. It is just always so much easier to go straight to my phone and record, you know. Have folks been doing any collaborations yet? Have any tips or apps that they're using for collaborations? Okay, I am still looking.
I see Kat just said she just did her first collaboration. I've seen a handful of them this year. I
Yeah.
think if I remember correctly, last year it was slow to start with the collaborations, and maybe around like day 40 or 50, people got really excited, and then there was a ton of them.
Yeah. It is a nice way to kind of mix it up once you've been had enough time to just focus on yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Tim said, I find the technical parts are still way more time consuming than the playing and the learning. That's interesting. That do you mean the technical parts of like recording yourself? That that can be time consuming. It has to, I guess, be something that you want to do, right? I think of it as a skill, and I am, a YouTube and content creator as I don't know, kind of I don't know, on the side of what I do, of performing and community leading and whatnot. But I do think it's kind of the primary way information is delivered now through video. And so it is a skill that you can learn to, if not master, but at least get really familiar with. We're all on Zoom calls all the time, we're on video calls, that if you want to learn to share video, you want to learn how to use your recording devices, how to use all the features of it, and also how you want to present yourself. I think those are really important skills to learn in our day and age. And if there's a way that I can help with that, I did want to start up like a gear show or do more talks about gear, getting people more acclimated to using microphones, perhaps learning to record themselves on their computers, use interfaces and whatnot. So if there's interest in that, let me know, and we're gonna start that up. I'll get like Lenny on to talk a little bit more about that. Okay. All right. Anything else you've discovered along the way? These are some of the questions that I wrote down to ask everybody. So what's working for you in terms of how you record, right? What works best for you in terms of recording, regarding your equipment, or regarding like the time of day you do the recording? What is working best for you in terms of choosing a song? Like, how are you learning to streamline your own flow of producing a video every day? I'd love to hear from folks about that. Jenny. People are calling you Jenny in the chat. I'm sorry, Dory. Everybody, this is Dory, not Jenny.
I'll take that as a massive compliment. That's
okay. So, Dory, any thoughts on that, like in terms of choosing a song or the time of day or like your recording setup, like ways that you're streamlining your flow?
I usually just choose whatever song I'm feeling that day. I mean, in years past, it's been, I've definitely had days where I'll scroll through my music for like an hour before I find something that feels right. This year, Patsy is actually the only one that caught on that I did this, but I had my first 9 days with songs with that number in them. And I have a few random ones like that moving forward because I just didn't have an idea. Yeah. And she like said something like 2 days ago and she was like, oh, I just noticed that on day 18, you did the song called 18. And I was like, oh yeah, you're the first one to call that out. So that was kind of fun that somebody finally noticed.
Oh my gosh.
But I had a hard time choosing songs. So I was like, I really wanted to do the one by Taylor Swift on day one. And I was like, I'm just going to roll with this, why not? And I know Bart had told me he was going through the alphabet. So I think sometimes it's like easy to think of, a theme for yourself if you want, where I saw Kendra was doing love songs and now she's doing Beatles songs. Like if you're in a mood, go with it. If it's like rainy or snowy and you choose songs about the weather, I think that's kind of fun. I just kind of, go based off of what I'm feeling for the most part. This is kind of the first year that I've ever actually pre-planned what songs I'm going to do on certain days.
I
My
love that
setting,
theme. I love that the number theme.
oh, the
That's
number
it.
thing.
Yeah.
I did it last year for one day. It was like When I'm 64 by the Beatles on day 64.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I should have done this all along. And then I just sort of made a list of songs with numbers in the title for this year and went with it. Um, but yeah, that's been kind of fun. My setup has been, I think my first year, I almost all my videos look the same. I just filmed in my bedroom. The second year got a little wild when I came to San Diego, where my family is, and my setup totally changed.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I'm also not at home at the beginning of the challenge, so my setup has kind of just been like whatever I can make do with, which actually feels nice because I think I was so programmed the first year on what I should be doing, and I've just sort of let go of that
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
year. And I actually really appreciate seeing other people doing that too. Like again, Christina filming at work. I think that's so cool. And I know Kat almost always films at work, and
Mm-hmm.
she did that last year as well. But it's just nice to see people in their, natural setting. Like I'm just working this into my day-to-day life and filming on my lunch break. No big deal. I think it's fun, but
It may be
um
that you need to start, maybe the first year you need to kind of develop a structure for yourself,
yeah.
just to kind of like get into the mindset of, how you're going to move forward. Like Rob, I don't know who this is. Rob Eddy said, I record a song during the morning and then spend the rest of the day practicing for the following day.
Hmm.
That like when you start developing that process, then it makes it a lot clearer. But then as you get more comfortable with the whole idea, then you can let go of that more. And I enjoy seeing that too, seeing people kind of let go of that. And like, I think that's like when you hit a tipping point, right? When you're just like, oh, I don't care, like, well, let's just do this and see what happens, So I think that's really, it shows growth. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think my first year I spent all day practicing the song I was going to do and then recorded at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, and maybe part of the end of last year, I decided to do exactly that, like pick the song the day before, practice the day before, and then record in the morning. And that seems to work a lot better for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, I sometimes don't pre-plan at all, and then actually, I don't know how you all have feeling about this, but some days like I have no idea what I'm gonna do, and then some days I have a strong idea of what I'm gonna do, and I think it's an interesting part of the process to have to work with both things, right? That if you know what you're going to do, then it's like, okay, cool. Like I learn it, I get it ready to go, and I'm excited to get it out into the world. But when you're not sure, that is also part of the journey, right? Like, what am I looking for today? Why aren't these things fitting? What can I do to make the most of it? To just kind of let it go and move on. I think that is a really important part of this.
Yeah, I
um,
see Terry and some people talking about changing the key for songs
mm,
a lot.
what does that mean?
Yeah. Oh,
Just like learning to
like
transpose, or
learning to transpose and also finding songs that they like and then just fitting them into the key that works best for their
oh,
voice.
right, yeah.
Because I know a lot of us use your music, and I think Terry has said, with his voice being lower, he has to go in and transpose some of your songs to work better
Mm-hmm.
for his range.
Mm,
That's also a fun skill to work. I'm not good at that, but it is a
mm.
fun skill to work on during the 100 days.
Okay, maybe that's something I can do a better job of teaching, so that we can adjust.
Hmm. I
Yeah,
think you have at least two Patreon lessons on transposing.
yeah. um, yeah, okay. Yeah, if folks need help with transposing, let me know how you try to do it or where you're struggling with it. Um, and we can talk about how we might approach that. If that's something worthy of its own discussion, we could do that. Maybe I could do like a live transposition.
Yeah, I
So that
see
people.
Jadrian. Am I saying his name right? About a transposition
Mhm.
workshop. I see a lot of people seeming interested in that.
Okay.
There are two lessons on Patreon. I can try to find them and put the links to them in the weekly chat thread.
Okay. Yeah. We can do that. Tina says I try to make every video look different. Wow. Well, Tina is an overachiever, guys, so and has been playing for quite a while, so you don't need to do that. But it's been fun to see Tina change things up. And Tina was also playing with green screen and multiple instruments as well, so that's good. Yeah, filming in the car. Teddy Bear is holding the microphone. That's really cute. Filming outside. Do you have a microphone when you film outside, or is that easy to do? That's the main thing about filming outside is how the audio picks up, with the outside noises. But yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. If you are newer to playing, if you are a newbie, then there's a lot of basics to learn. So, don't feel like you need to do all of these bells and whistles at the beginning. It is really about kind of finding a groove for yourself of just building a daily practice. And then you can see for these folks who've been doing the project for a year or more that they start to experiment with what they can do. Okay, let's go to any questions that we have about the project, about how we stay motivated, how we continue to adjust the project to fit into your life, given that we have 80 days to go. And in the meantime, I will give you some tips on that the mods have shared. That what I want to say about it is that this is a journey that will have ups and downs. That there will be some days that you feel inspired or you feel like I know exactly what I'm going to play. You feel you have an energy, or you have time. Sometimes you just might have extra time. Some folks were saying that they have more time on the weekends, and then there might be some days where you feel like, oh, I'm not feeling this today. But what we're doing is developing this daily habit of practicing, of tapping in, connecting to your creative self. And even on those days that you're not really feeling it, you just try to capture something that allows you to be present, with your creative practice, and let it go, move on. You have another day. And this all just relates to like regular life, right? There's going to be some days you're like, I just need to have a cup of tea and go to bed early tonight. That's what I need to do. There might be a day like, I just need to play one verse of a song that really feels good to me. It's not challenging me a lot, but it connects me with my creative self, connects me musically to a feeling that I want to express. So my tagline for that is keep going, keep growing. I don't know.
I
I
like
just like
that.
making taglines. Keep going, keep growing. Also, stay getting inspired by other people, watching other people's videos and using that for inspiration. I love that. I feel like every time when I have a chunk of time and I can go on, say, like the 100 Days Uke 2022 hashtag on Instagram. I'll flip through and leave comments for folks and also get inspired. Like Jeff was hopping on, another member, another 100-dayer, Mike, on his bandwagon of playing Space Oddity. And then Jeff started just playing all the different songs that Mike was playing. It was really cute. Yeah, it's just like fun to see the interaction within the squad, and seeing people get inspired by each other. So when you're not sure what you're going to play, that can be a way that you're kind of doing double duty. You're both going to give good, encouraging comments for your fellow 100-dayers and getting inspiration for your next song. Dora, you wrote a little bit about about that. Would you like to share about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I actually found it weirdly in my planner. My planner has quotes in it, and I had read this quote recently, by Booker T. Washington. If you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else. Um, yeah, I think it's a great, getting involved in the community really means submerging yourself. I think, Amanda sort of said you reap what you sow. Um, just being more involved in the community, leaving nice comments. I have found that in many ways in life, that if you go watch other people's videos, you get inspired, you feel empowered doing that. It's nice to give people nice comments, but it also makes you feel better to get nice comments. And I have a very long list on my phone of songs that I would like to do that I have taken note of from other people performing throughout the 3 years that I've been a part of this challenge. But yeah, it definitely is inspiring to watch other people. If you are out of song ideas, scroll for 10 or 15 minutes, watch some videos, leave some comments, and can inspire you to do, songs or trigger something like a song that you didn't remember about that you may want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's also just like nice watching people's videos and leaving encouraging comments. I know my first year, I was such a beginner. I think I'd played 4 days before I started, and everybody is so kind, spread so much aloha, and it's such a nice thing in this community that everybody is so warm and welcoming and lovely. But yeah, I encourage anybody who maybe is just posting and watching like a video or two to maybe try to give 15 minutes. I know Jenny said she watches videos when she's brushing her teeth. I do that as well. I'm also up way too late in bed watching videos, at night. But yeah, it's a great way to find inspiration by watching everybody else's videos.
Sounds good. Let's talk about, let's see. So some of the main takeaway I have about, going forward is that it's important to do the project for you, that this relates to comments as well. But I'm going to quote Amanda here. Amanda is here in the chat. Hi, Amanda, one of our mods, one of our top moderator mates. She calls everyone mate. I love it. Good on you, mate. So she said, a few people have said to me that they don't feel comfortable posting because they don't feel good enough, having seen some of the other amazing performances. And I'm continuing with her quote. And yes, I get that. Others have said they can't understand why their posts get so few reactions and comments when others get zillions. And yes, I've been there too. To these people, I say, post and be damned. It's not personal. It's just the way social media platforms work. This isn't a talent contest, but it's an excellent way of plotting your progress on this amazing journey. And you are all being incredibly brave. Yay! Everyone is being incredibly brave. And yes, it is part of the way social media works. We could talk a little bit about that. But the first part, right, that if you see other people and you feel that their videos make you feel like you cannot post, then let yourself step back, right, and have a little more context for where they're at in their journey, and give yourself the respect of like your own journey, defining your own journey. Because if you are just starting, then you need to take the steps that you need to take. You cannot follow someone else's steps anyway, right? So,
Hmm.
we talk about comparison, that the quote that comparison is the thief of joy, right? That there's no one to compare to aside from yourself. And that's another quote from another one of our moderators, Mo. She said, you need only compare yourself with one person, and that is who you were yesterday or last week or last month. That's the only comparison that matters, right? And she adds, it's not linear. Some days are better than others, but with regular practice, that trend will only go in one direction. This is still Mo. The objective and the most important part is to develop the habit of playing a bit every day, and that is the aim of the whole project. It is the one thing that is guaranteed to get me practicing more regularly and hence improving. That if you're scared to post because other people have videos that you feel like outshine yours, then you need to just work on yourself. Jenny mentioned it. It's about working on your inner journey, right? That like, can you get in touch with your creative self to the place where it's not about comparison. It is really about, this is what I want to do to express myself. And you should know that this whole community of people are there to support what you were discovering for yourself. So I guess we're all just saying, get over it.
Yeah. And I think just playing because you enjoy it and because you want to share, that's enough. I think a lot of people worry that their videos are not enough. They are enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're our own worst critics. We say things to ourselves we would never say to other people in the group or our friends or our family. So maybe try to be a little bit kinder to yourself.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That like it also reflects like the kinds of judgments that we maybe are conditioned to have without knowing it. That if you can step back, view others with less judgment, you might view yourself with less judgment, right? That like in our group, the fact that we are encouraging everyone, that everyone is in exactly where they need to be on their own journey. And as much as compassion as we give others, we need to give ourselves. So keep that in mind as you go forward. If there's days that you cannot deliver what you thought you wanted to deliver, that's okay. You can let it go. You could share what you did. You can also sometimes, like, you may have seen some people post a picture or just post a little statement that like, things didn't go the way I thought they would today, and so I'm going to come back tomorrow with a video, and that's okay. That's part of it as well. You do what you need to do. Then when we get to the comments, right? So Jenny was saying in her own project that like, because it's more about progress now than full songs, that she feels more encouraged to post, right? She said, sometimes I don't care if the videos are boring or interesting. I use them to mark the days. I post for accountability more than for comments, right? So the comments are good if, I think we all feel that the comments encourage us and make us feel connected to each other, that we are all on this journey together. But let's make sure not to get too hung up on comments. And then Jenny also said that the more, it might look like she's getting more comments because she likes to reply to everybody's comments, So
Yeah, I do the same. It probably looks like some of my videos have a lot, but I always, try to reply and say thanks to people.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
always like you.
And it's just a way to connect within the group if you
Hmm.
want to. And on the other hand, it's like if you post a video and then never comment, right? Never go to anyone else's videos to comment, then the social media platform then doesn't show your video to other people. That's just one of the ways that social media platforms work. It's like if you are interacting with other people, then it'll show your videos to them next time you post them, and same vice versa, right? But if you post and then you never interact with the other people in the group, then you can't necessarily expect that other people are going to know who you are, right? So there is this optional part of engaging with the community who is doing this project. So you are doing your own journey, but if you want to, you're part of the community that is encouraging each other on this journey together. Yeah. Yeah.
Another bit on the comments, I know Tina also mentioned this in the group chat, but if you are posting directly onto Facebook, I think this is with most social media platforms, they want to keep you on that platform. So if you're directly uploading to the 100 Days group into Facebook, it's easier the way the algorithm works to have your videos be seen versus if you're posting YouTube links, because Facebook does not want you to go to YouTube. So they're not going to promote those videos to the top of the pages.
Yeah. Right. So part of it is just, the way the social media platform works. Yeah. But, I think ultimately nobody should be doing it for the comments. If you want to get more comments, then you should go and comment on other people's more. And then Jenny had this great idea that, like, if you're not necessarily getting a lot of comments, that if you kind of seek out other people who are not getting a lot of comments, you can kind of start just building connections with other folks who are maybe like looking, to finding traction in the group. And then you can start building your own little community and interaction that way. And I like seeing that happen too within the group. And it's just a natural way that groups happen, that people who kind of like the same songs or have the same vibe, they start gravitating towards each other. The interesting thing about our group is that it's so global that sometimes it's like the time of day you post, right? The time of day you post, if it's the same as the time of day that other people post, then you see each other's because they pop up at the same time, and then you interact. So that's something else to think about, that like it could just be a part of like when you're posting. You could try posting at a different time and see what happens, jumping on and seeing. Anything else to say about comments? I think everybody gets that, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Joanne said that's the best part, meeting uke friends. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. So back to making the project work for you. And I talked about, we talked about One Take Wednesday and how Christina is posting from work. What I wanted to read a little quote from Christina. She said, "To make a real attempt at finishing this project for the first time." And aside, this is her 5th year doing the project. I mean, this is like, my, I don't know, who knows, like 7th or 8th or whatever year doing the project. And I also have never completed 100 days. I think that's, I'm pretty steady right now. We'll see where it goes. I'm going to encourage myself to keep going. But anyway, so Christina said, to make a real attempt at finishing this project for the first time, I had to let go of the mindset, this isn't worth people's time to listen to. Right? This is something that she was telling herself, that I had to let go of that mindset and just post for myself. There are amazing players. She said, I am not and will not be one of them. She, I think, is being too humble, that like we are all a little more critical of ourselves, because I love watching Christina's videos. She said, some days my fingers are too numb and hands are too swollen to cooperate, but I'm pressing onward because this is for me, right? So only you can know what you have to overcome in that particular day in order to get this done, right? So if it isn't making you happy, you don't have to do it. This is this is something optional for you. We're all just here together to keep us going, so that we can do as much as we can in this 100 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tina has said it to me before, find your why, which I always like. And the why each year is different. The why changes throughout the year, definitely as well. I mean, for me, it always has. But yeah, I mean, you're doing this because it's fun, it's your hobby, doesn't have to be perfect. You don't owe anybody anything. And your idea of perfect is not everybody's idea of perfect. And
Right.
it's about progress, not perfection, and just enjoying it, having fun.
So let's ask that question. What is your why? Yeah. Especially Tina. What? No, I think Tina had a lot of whys, but yeah. Anybody in the chat, go ahead and share that. Dora, you can think about that. I'll add this last little bit, the little story from Valerie while we talk about the whys, because I think I'd have to think about that for myself as well. But along the lines of allowing the project to fit into your life more, Valerie said, what's so wonderful about doing this challenge year after year, and it's also Valerie's 5th year, I believe, is how comfortable I am posting my videos now. I don't freak out if it's not perfect, and I've learned so many chords that I can play most any song I want perfectly imperfect. And perfectly imperfect is a quote or a hashtag that Laura Clayton came up with the very first year that we did this project as a group, when it was like the very small group of folks. That it only goes to show that, like, with time, right? Why do people come back to this project year after year? It's because they know that that the daily practice is an important part of the growth, right? And that maybe in the first year you have to look up chords. Yeah, Amanda was saying something about that, learning a chord. Like, she can go back to songs from last year or the year before and now know, oh, I don't have to look up that chord anymore, right? So you build your chord vocabulary. You get more comfortable on camera. You get more comfortable recording yourself. You get more comfortable playing through a song without having to maybe stop and figure it out along the way, that you can just kind of go for it. And I think for Christina too, in her 5th year, that it would take several years to get to the point where you're that comfortable. So this is all to say that you stick with it, because it is an ongoing process. I mean, I'm doing music for life, mostly because I need it in my life to feel connected as a human being. So maybe that's my why, right? Why do I do the 100 days? I do the 100 days because I love seeing this group, and like, honestly, I don't want to be left out of this group. Like, that I think maybe the first year, that in 2018, when a group of folks did it, from my patrons, that, like, I wasn't actively participating, and I was like, oh, I want to do that too, that, like, to do it as a group really, for me, makes it fun. That's my why, to be part of this group, so
Yeah. I always like your quote that you say, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
I think that's so true, because I really could not make it through this project by myself.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. Amanda said, it's a real confidence booster and a joy to connect with people. Christine said, my why, I want to be a stronger player, have fun, and make people smile. It's fun to be part of an uke community. Yeah. Tina's like, I'm going to check my reel. Yep. I can't survive without making music of some kind. Yeah. Great. Donna said, my why is improving my skills and being able to share music with others. Good. Yeah. Gail, you start having fun when you let yourself. That's interesting, right? Lynn, to share and pass on the uke love. Aw, that's so sweet. Yeah. Greg, to learn a different strumming pattern I can sing to without automatically returning to the island strum. So true. Yeah.
I love that Bart says here because it changed my life. I think a lot of people feel that way with the 100 Days Project.
Aw, that's so sweet. I love seeing Bart's videos. Um, yeah. Kathy, thank you for this. Kathy said that she likes my short posts and they feel like a full song somehow. Um, yeah, that's my trick. I only have to learn one verse. Honestly, that is one of my adaptations, right? That the first year I did or the project, I tried to do full songs, and it like made me lose my voice really. So now um, I will clip out something even shorter than a verse. I don't know if you guys saw the other day. It was last Friday. I started playing a little bit of My Sherry Amore, and then like people came over and I was like, oh, I don't have time, so I literally just clipped out like the la la part and the first line of the first verse, because that's the only part that I could do without messing up. And then Joanne said we do it for the t-shirt.
Amanda said that too.
Yeah, well, we'll work on a t-shirt. Something we can discuss. I'm going to keep reading your comments here, but something we can discuss is what we might do for day 50. I was thinking maybe we all play a song. We don't all have to do one song, but we might all play a song for peace. That is a hashtag that has come up in the group, playing for peace. We could talk about that or other ideas, if we all want to do the same song or just something all thematic, open to everybody's ideas. And over the past years, the different year groups have chosen different things. I think one year everybody wore a flower. That was really nice. Another year, last year we did a flash mob. I don't think we're going to do that this year until maybe later on. But later on we might do flash mob, and we'll definitely do t-shirts. But what might we do for like day 50? And I also would encourage everybody, like, if you want to start up a hashtag, or if you want to see if you can start a theme and get other people to kind of organically jump on that, like, again, this is your own journey. Nobody's telling you what songs to play, right? There are days that there's a theme, like, oh, I wish I could jump on that theme, but I'm not ready for that, right? So do what you need to do. But go ahead and pop those ideas in the chat. I'm still going to read the whys. I like this why. Christine said, I'm a late music bloomer, and I'm having a blast. That, like, that's, a lot of my, I would say, my students are maybe late music bloomers. And I think it's just because a lot of people believe that, like, you have to have that talent early on or something. And it has less to do with, well, maybe by now you've learned that it's really less about talent, quote unquote. It's not inborn, it is a practice. The real talent is the patience and the perseverance to come back day after day. That to me wins a lot more points than just like a flashy performance. So yeah.
I see Terry here said, my goal is to begin performing at senior and memory care homes someday, maybe soon. That's so sweet. I love that. That is a great why.
Yes. I think Terry can do that.
Yeah,
you're ready, so. Terry.
I think so.
With your group? That's something you could do with your group, huh? That would be great. Yay. Okay. Yeah. Ken has definitely now gone out into the world and been playing, so that's really cool, and sharing The Joy of Ukulele. Pamela said my why is to be the artist I want to be. Aw, that is so great. That's a really important part of it. That I say this a lot. That like we all have an inner artist, right? That everybody is creative, and that a lot of times it's just about getting in touch with that. Julie said, "Thank you, Amanda, for the open mic. It's a great bonding thing." Yeah, Amanda is hosting an open mic. Is there one coming up soon? We can share that.
I think one just happened last week, but she does them on a monthly basis, her and Connie. So I believe that there should be one maybe in late March.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Jadrian said why I'm building my personal songbook and getting the confidence of singing and playing in front of people. Awesome. All about the t-shirt. Oh no. Life-changing, life-charging, says Tim. Oh, that's great. It's like it really speaks to a lot of things that when we do something for ourselves, right? That we get in touch with something that we need to do for ourselves. That's one part of it, and then we share that thing, and then that's another part of it. And both of those parts are super, I think, life affirming. So, yeah, and just as people said, FOMO. They don't want to miss out on all of that. Agreed. Hey, that's me. Music is my therapy. Yeah, especially like our quarantine uke folks about the cukes, which I never made that shirt because I don't know. There are other things we could do.
You gotta do the kazoo shirt too.
That's true, the kazoo shirt. When are we gonna do that? We'll see. Song for peace. Okay, we're getting to the day 50 ideas. Yeah. Cool. Imagine for day 50. I had suggested that, but I don't want to be too prescriptive about it. The nice thing about Imagine is that I have taught it in 3 keys, so it allows for more, for people to play it in the key that they want. Do our hashtags go public? No, not if you're posting it just within the Facebook group. Yeah. Oh, I saw some other questions. Sorry, I missed them. So go ahead and post it again. Something about calluses. You should be building up calluses if you're playing. And I think another thing to mention is to not overdo it. Maybe that's something you're learning over the 100 days, so like the first 20 days, that you can't overdo it because you still need to sustain yourself for 80 days, right? So maybe playing a little less if you feel that you're getting calluses that hurt or you're feeling some strain. Make sure you stretch it out and take it easy on yourself. Play an easy song, play just for 5 minutes on a day when you need a little rest. You can totally rest as you need. I'm a big believer in rest. Okay. Song of Peace for day 50. Okay. Let's do that. Cool. Patsy said that have played at care homes, which is great. Yeah. Okay.
Justine is asking, how do you keep calluses from peeling?
Oh, you can't. They will just peel. Yeah, it's just a normal part of life, right? It's like they get hard, they peel. Really, the way to keep them from peeling is to keep playing. The more you keep playing, the harder they get. But then you can't feel your fingertips at all, and that's just normal. I've lived that way for pretty much my whole life. Can you see? I don't know if you can even see, but they're basically like plastic. Yeah. Okay, cool. Strive Thrive said I started 1 year ago as part of my cancer recovery. Yeah, a lot of people use the uke as a form of healing. They even recommend it in hospitals. That when folks are recovering, they're like, you do something that's good for your spirit, and like a lot of people have found my channel because they were recovering. So yeah, so think about that. Also, some of you might know that my quote at the end of a lot of my tutorials is practice 5 minutes a day because it's good for your brain and it's good for your soul. It really is good for your brain. That like you have to build up these mental these brain to like finger neural connections in order to keep developing. And you need to be patient with that. You have to give your brain enough time to make those connections. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There's the open mic. Check out the open mic. It will be posted within our group, within the Facebook group. And for Instagram folks, we can find a way to share that with you. Yeah. Okay. Is 26 March? Wait, what is that? Is that? Oh, that's the
I
next.
think that might be
open
day
mic.
50.
Oh no, that's the next open mic, March 26th. Okay. I'm not sure when day 50 is. Somebody can figure that out. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? We could plan on a song for peace on day 50. It seems that a lot of folks are connected with that idea. Cool. Playing the uke exercises my hands, says Sean, who says, I have rheumatoid arthritis and it's good for exercising my hands. That's great. Sean is also using a drum machine and playing uke with it, which I love. It's super fun. Over on the Instagram. Yeah. Cool. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I guess if there are no more questions about going forward, we can wrap it up there and just keep everybody encouraged for the next 80 days. We'll do another First Friday check-in. That should be, what? That'll be in 28 days? Well, that the next First Friday? I don't know. Will day 50 already have happened by then? We'll see. But any last words, Dory?
No last words for me.
Sounds good. Okay. Yeah, everybody, happy day 20. Keep it going, keep growing. Just gonna make up a new mantra each time. And yeah, lots of aloha to you all. I like this from Sean. Play on, playa. He's always throwing it back to the 90s. I love it. Okay. I'm trying to remember what I do here to finish the stream here. Okay. So, Dory, we can say bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
And then when I see that we've waved, then I will end the feed for everyone. Okay. All right. We're saying bye, and now I'm ending it. All right.